My name is Simone Burban. I'm originally from the United Kingdom, southeast Kent, and I'm head of the Cambridge Lower Secondary Programme, which is grades 6 to 8 in the international school. So in the Cambridge Lower Secondary Programme, the aim is really for the students to learn skills in all subject areas and to have basic skills in all subject areas. We have students coming from different educational backgrounds, so we need them to have a certain level in all areas such as English and maths and sciences. It's also about building curiosity, developing curiosity, so students love learning. That's the key for success from my point of view. And so if students have that curiosity and have the skills, then they're ready to start the programmes later on, which are a little bit more challenging. Students join us in either grades 6, 7 or 8. Some students join us with very little English, and so one of the major challenges is for students who arrive with not so good at English is to learn to have the vocabulary and to be able to complete tasks in English in all subject areas. Another challenge possibly is to come from a different educational background, and so they may have different areas of prior knowledge. So students, we need to cover the bases basically so that students have the skills and knowledge base for success later on. Some students come as boarding students, and that's quite a challenge. Students are away from home, so I think we have a very nurturing faculty and staff who help the children and students to settle very quickly so that they're happy, and I think happy learners help build skills more quickly. So that's the basis, is nurturing and also to help the skills level. For me, I've seen students in the CLSP programme really grow in the time they've been with us. For example, a couple of students came with very little English, and by the end of the first year with us, they're fluently talking with their friends in the playground and in the classroom, but also succeeding academically and doing rather well. For me, it's not just academics, it's also social skills, and it's also building the skills for the future. So I think we're just a very good preparation for later on, and also to build the friendships and the social networks. That means that the students are always happy to come to school and that they're always happy to do homework. It's not always the case, but happy to do homework, and that they feel successful. In previous years and this year we have a physical outdoor programme when students go off campus, and they also make connections with other subject areas on excursions. So for me that's really important, to make connections with their learning outside of the classroom as well as inside. And also to meet people. I think one of the greatest things is the students are multinational, multicultural, and they learn about each other and from each other. So the Cambridge Lower Secondary Programme is also a Cambridge programme, and we teach the IGCSE programme, so a lot of the skills have a lower level of learning, but you then build on those skills for IGCSE. So academically it's a very, very good programme. It covers the bases depending on where you've come from in your educational background. But also it prepares you not just academically but socially. We have a lot of project-based learning. In the future skills class, I believe in collaboration and building communication skills, and also critical thinking and creativity. And these are all skills that are really important for success later on in IGCSE, but also IB-DP. Socially, the students learn to get on with one another, but they also learn to work collaboratively in project work, and that's really, really important later on. And to create an enthusiasm for learning, which then they can build on in the higher grades. So although we follow the Cambridge Lower Secondary Programme, but it is quite a flexible curriculum, and the teachers have freedom to differentiate and to also offer different ways of learning. So there can be different ways of assessment, through presentation skills, through quizzes, through doing a project work, through just following your own interest in a certain area. It's also student-centred, so the students can decide maybe in a project that that's their area of interest. So I think it's very much about students taking command of their learning, but also with the teachers enabling them to further their skills in many different areas. Some of our most successful students at the school have actually been the students who've been with us the longest, who've come from primary school through to our CLSP programme and then further on. And I think that's because they've learnt the skills. And for me, it's very much skills based, but also not just knowledge based. But if you have that basic knowledge and interest in subjects, it's going to feed later learning.